to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. 11 yards there and a Lion first down. Another good run there for a guy who, remember, on Wednesday was named NFC Offensive Player of the Week for what he did a week ago.
Yeah, and you know it takes some solid runs and some extra special ones in order to win that type of an award. I think he's locked in and wants to get it done a second time.
Ready, ready. Check 55, Mike. You ain't doing nothing today.
On 1st and 10, Masters. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before you get a good head of steam going.
9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it could be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10.
Five.
Looking to throw. Masters escaping the pressure right. And eventually taken down here. Great coverage downfield. That's sacked by Khalil Mack.
Okay, was it a breakdown in protection? Did the running back not pick him up? What does it really matter? Sometimes it's just a great play made by the defense. Big-time sack.
Now following the sack, they'll come up here on a 2nd down and 12. Here we go on 2nd and 12. And he's got it. Got his man on the end route. Complete. And he'll go down at the 26 following a gain of 6. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. They got to get it to the 21 here on 3rd down. Operating from the gun. Masters. That is caught right at the 10-yard line. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. How about the start throwing the football? 4 for 4 on this opening drive.
Oh, he's slinging it. And oftentimes when you talk about slinging it, you're thinking about a guy throwing it all over the yard, not necessarily accurately. In this case, though, he's honing in on his targets, and he's delivering.
Yeah, the opening script, however, they drew it up for this first drive, going to plan so far. And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete.
Yeah, that one sailed on him. You've got to make sure you give your receiver a chance to come down inbounds because they are very gifted. They'll make the circus catches, but if they make them out of bounds, that does you no good.
Another shot from the 9 on 2nd and goal.
Strip the ball. Strip that ball.
And he maneuvers his way down to the 3-yard line. A nice run there as he picks up 6. It's going to be 3rd and goal now.
A lot can go wrong when you call a play like this down in the red zone, but that's where you appreciate this from your head coach. He's not afraid to trust his guys to do the right thing, and as a player, that means an awful lot.
They'll try to run this one in, and he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. A great play there with his 16th touchdown of the year as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Extra point splits the uprights, and it's now a 7-0 game. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he'd taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. And this will probably be the last play of the quarter.
And what's that? And what's the ball? 6 guys. Check 6 guys. 36. Switch.
They'll start things on first with Torrey Cohen. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Here's 2nd and 8. The catch made by Hopkins. 27 yards there, a first down.
A gain of 27 on the play. First down, Chicago.
So the ball moves into Lion territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line. Back to throw here. They'll let this go for the end zone. And it'll be intercepted. Snags it for the pick. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Well, they didn't exactly show patience there, did they? Just down a score, they come out firing right away and compound things by throwing an interception. They put their defense in a really tough spot.
Right there, 54 Mike. Kill. 61, matchbox.
Now they try the right side here. And he will finally be taken down, but not before he reaches the 38. It's a big play there for the Lions. 42 yards. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. Back to throw. Masters, he sets to fire deep. And that'll wind up incomplete. Try to give his man room to run under it, but it's 2nd down.
Brandon, it looked like he had his hands on it for a moment, but let's face it, that was going to be a tough catch all the way because of the presence of the defense right there as he was trying to haul it in.
Yeah, nice job to force the incompletion. Off the play fake. Masters. And he'll go down. The Bears get there for the sack. Khalil Mack picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
Well, nothing takes a start to have a good drive, quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
Now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
On the double.
The Bears bring out an extra defender in the secondary now for 3rd down. Looking to throw. Masters. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. That'll be a loss of 4 yards on the play. And that's going to make it 4th down. And he gets it away, a directional kick going toward the sideline.
The Bears take over 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line.
The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And this is a unit that, to be frank, doesn't look like they've woken up yet. I mean, a punt and a turnover on their first 2 drives.
And I think the game's starting to take shape a little bit now. And I'm going to take it into the basketball world. When you're having trouble scoring or moving the ball in basketball, what do? Get it to their best player, right? Find a matchup, create it, exploit it, and try and move the football.
At the 28-yard line.
Mike, number 53.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. Catch made, it's Moreau. A pickup of about 3 yards as he's taken down at the 31.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal, because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
They'll set up a throw. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 35. And the return will stop right around the 25.
So that's back-to-back drives where they're throwing an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
Pick it up, guys. Pick it up. Hey, Haywood. 58's the money. 58's the money. Shoot.
Throwing on first down. Masters. And that is caught. Touchdown, Detroit. 25 yards for the touchdown. And the Lions are able to extend their lead.
Brandon, my man, just one sentence for that one. Clinic.
And that's what they've done. They lead the league in points per game this season, but it's been quick strike ability as we saw on that drive.
I think they're actually intimidating defenses because they're back on their heels right away, wondering where it's going to come from, how they're going to hit them. This group is well organized, well coached, and extremely confident in what they do.
And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything, at least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. They'll run on second down with Cohen. And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that's going to bring up a 3rd down. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. They'll look to throw here. .154 left on the clock here in quarter number 2. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
Back to throw, and that'll be knocked away. It's incomplete.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back. In pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
On the draw, this is Cohen. Oh, Cohen lost the football.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. For the Lions, an extra DB in the game now here on 3rd down.
Watch tight. Tight is right. Everyone got 4 down. 31.
They'll look to throw. Gets this to his running back, Tariq Cohen. And this effort won't be enough as they rally up to stop him a couple of yards short. The Lions will use the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. That's running out of steam, and it won't get there. He left it just short, no good, and this score will stay right where it is.
And this is one of the risks you run when you attempt a long field goal. If you miss, the defense takes over at the spot of the placement. So now they've got a chance to get one more drive in before halftime.
So good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10 on their side of midfield at the 47.
58, right over there, right over there. Yeah, yeah. Mike, 58, right there. Get your swerve on. Fire.
From the gun, Masters. And he finds a man with a crossing route. A very solid gain of 27.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. This quarterback now hitting on 80% of his passes in the early going. 8 of 10. It's first down. Back to throw. Masters. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's second down.
The positioning here is key. As a defensive back, you're taught 99% of the time, make a play on the football. But in this case, making a play on the man was all the difference. That's what forced the incompletion.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Masters. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Porter. The Lions passing game in sync now. They've got another first down. Somebody missed an assignment. He was waving his arm saying, hey, I'm wide open. They found him.
You think? You think? I mean, he was so wide open. Did you see he was just windmilling like he was Don Quixote or somebody out there? And then they found him for a really nice game.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. A great effort there with his second touchdown here in this first half. And the Lions are able to extend their lead. Extra point right down the middle. And it's now 21-0. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here, or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
He's got his man on the crossing route. And he'll be brought down on the 30-yard line after a gain of 6. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we'll send you down to Orlando, we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups.
Oh, wide open, complete, 20, 10, touchdown, Detroit. A big play there, 79 yards. And the Lions are able to extend their lead. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You've got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half two.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
Check. 53's mine. Check. 53's mine. Set the tone, defense. Set the tone, defense.
They'll set up to throw. And a big loss here as he's taken down. They couldn't contain Deshaun Hand that time as he gets home for the sack.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in third and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
After the sack, they'll come up now third and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
Now on third and long, they'll look to throw. He finds Hopkins complete. 14 yards, but they're still well shy of a first as that leads to fourth down.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they rallied and made the tackle.
A terrific return there. 27 yards all told. And this offense takes over in great shape right at the 50. First and 10. They've got good starting field position as they come up here first and 10 right at the 50-yard line. Looking to throw. Masters. Going to throw right side here. Complete. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
Hey, wahoo! 54. Time to go, night. Kill. Slam.
On first down, Masters. He's got his man. It's caught for a Lion touchdown. 23 yards for the touchdown as his guys continue to pour it on. Point after, right down the middle. And the lead will swell by one more. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line.
Let's go!
At their own 24-yard line.
The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
At the 29-yard line.
2nd and 5. Throw right side into the hands of Foster Moreau. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. It's a loss of 2, now third down. The last catch took him 2 yards in the wrong direction, so now what can they do on third? Now back to throw. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And, look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually, that becomes man on man. And you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
That hurts. If it was running into the kicker, wouldn't be a first down. Roughing, it is a first.
And just think about the differences between the two. Running into the kicker almost feels inadvertent, just a small tap, so to speak. But when you rough him, usually bodies are hitting the ground and flying all different places. And the difference is 5 yards or 15. And in this case, that's a big play.
So a big break. The roughing the kicker called on 4th down leads to 1st and 10. They'll drop to throw. And he will find his man on the end route. Complete. A gain of 6 there on first.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes when they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air. And sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Deshaun Hand able to get in there for his second sack of the afternoon.
That's his second sack of the game, and the best defensive ends, they do their homework as much as offensive guys do. They know how to beat the offensive lineman across from them, what moves they need to do to set them up. This guy's been pretty good at it all game long.
And he completes it to Cohen. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Give them 11 yards that time on the return. And the Lions are going to take over with a long field ahead and a 1st and 10. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly, because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, you feel like you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
It's still third quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10.
Go! It's our field. It's our field. Hey, it's our house. Hey, what? Hit it.
Throwing again. Masters. He's got a man. That's caught. Left sideline. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. That one good for 26 and a 1st down. This quarterback now 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10.
Hey, Alpha. 54, right there. 54, Mike.
Back to throw. Masters. Incomplete.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
Here now is 2nd and 10, again from the 41.
Rip right.
Now a handoff looking right. Touchdown, Detroit. A great play there with his 3rd touchdown and 18th on the year as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. Extra point splits the uprights, and that will extend this big lead. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he probably should have stayed in the end zone as he'll muster a return up to only the 14-yard line. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. They are right now just ice cold. I mean, they have struggled big time in this game, and they're getting blown out. How do they adjust?
So tough, because we always talk about it being a team game, and you need all 11 working well together. But every now and then, partner, you need that one guy who can make a play against all odds that maybe can ignite things. And I think that's what they're looking for right now.
Yeah, you talk about going to your playmakers. They probably need to do it.
Find someone that you're used to touching the football that makes big plays and give them that opportunity to maybe wake up everyone else.
Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards.
All day, defense, all day.
off the play fake. He'll look to throw. Going for the deep ball. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a third down. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure, the backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
After the incompletion, here now, 3rd and 2. He'll drop to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Deshaun Hand able to record his 5th sack of the season.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. And it's fielded at the 34. A very good return there. Give him an even 20 yards. And the Lions will have excellent field position here as they take over 1st and 10.
We go! 50, plant. Hey, box drop.
Get tired of seeing me.
On 1st and 10, Masters. And he's going to drop this off to his fullback. It's a gain of 6 on the play, and it'll make it 2nd down. Charles, you said earlier this defense is probably going to need to hold these guys right around 20 or under that if they were going to have a chance. It was evident pretty early on that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, they left 20 behind a long time ago in this game, didn't they? It looks like they're headed towards a big, big number. But 20 was the threshold because that kept them in the ball game and kept the pressure off of their own offense.
The Lions on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This time they face a 3rd and 2. Looking to throw. Masters. And that will be incomplete.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
And he has got it from 55 yards away. That was never in doubt. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And okay, all right, I'm being facetious here, but you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one. He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. 2nd and 13. That is caught by Cohen. Looked like a pretty good, safe play right there. No, he's had trouble with the interceptions in this game there. Hits his guy out in the flat.
Yeah, so many times we hear quarterbacks and offensive coordinators talk about in your progressions, you're either throwing the touchdown or you're throwing the check down. But earlier in the game, it was touchdown or interception. Now he got to the check down. A nice safe throw.
And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off near the 26. And he will score. Touchdown, Lions. That's the story of the game. They've been suffocating all game long on defense. They were suffocating there again in a big way.
And they've done it not just by out-athleting them, which is often the case, but by being able to adjust to anything they tried to throw at them and beating them to the punch each and every time. This was a defense that was well prepared.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line just across the 25. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. After the pick six, they go right back to the air. And he's got his man on the out route. The completion good for 3, and it's second down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6. The offense on third down tonight, a very anemic, 1 for 9 thus far. They're looking at third and a few inches. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Cohen, and he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. They're able to convert with a gain of 4. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. He'll look to throw. Pitch and catch to Moreau, the tight end. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. Well, this is how you shake the thoughts of that interception on the last drive. You come out and start this one 4 for 4.
And watching him throw it around with that type of confidence reminds me of a guy I played with way back when who told me, I don't care if I throw 10 interceptions in a row. I'm going to stay confident, keep flinging it. I'll just figure there's something wrong with the football.
And he'll get it down to the 47 here. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Bears with the football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. They're going to look to throw. Pitch and catch to Moreau, the tight end. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9.
I think it's okay there. They didn't get a whole lot on that play, but it's nice to have a safety valve that's built like this guy. Big target, guy you can spot pretty easily. Put it on him when your other targets aren't open.
And it's going to be another first down as they'll get him to the ground at the Lions' 28. Looking to throw. And he will find his man on the outside. And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. A good pickup there, 26 yards. Back to throw again. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Able to get there and pick it. He's at the 50, the 40. The 20, 10, 5, and he will bring it back. An interception return for a Lions touchdown. Defensively, they've had their way in this one. That pick 6 makes that scoreboard even more lopsided.
I remember talking with a guy in the league, and I said, what do you do when the game's like this? You know, it's pretty much over. You ready to go to the bench and hang out? He said, oh, heck no. I want to stay on the field. I might get some stats. I might get a pick or 2.
You like being out there at the end of these wide margins.
When they have to throw it, that gives you more opportunities to go get it.
And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. They are down big. They have not scored a single point. I don't know. Are they so defeated at this point you just want to get in the locker room and get the heck out of here?
That is one way to approach it. Sometimes coaches say, that's it, okay? It hasn't worked all game. There's no sense in doing something now. Let's get out of here. No one gets hurt. But others will look at it and say, we still have an opportunity to do something.
On the line.
Exactly. You have pride on the line, execution as you look forward and get ready for your next game.
And now here is another interception. Picked off at the 47. And his guys are going to get the football at their own 47-yard line. Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trusted confidant is on the sidelines, I don't know if it's the offense coordinator, the quarterback's coach, maybe the backup quarterback, that's who he needs to get with now and get himself calm.
Let's go, D. Let's go. Whip, 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 whip. Watch the whip.
That one looks like he'll throw here. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be 2nd down. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10.
I smell fear in that offense.
To throw again. Masters eluding the pressure right. Got a man on the right sideline. It's Hubbard. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. A gain there of 30 big ones. So this